Hello everyone. I welcome you to SV classes. My name is Sweety and today I will explain you the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost, who is an American poet. And the poem is taken from class 9, book is Beehive. It is one of the famous poems read in the world. His work, Robert Frost's work, was initially published in England before it was published in America. Now, before reading the poem, we should know something about the life of Robert Frost. He was born in California, USA in the year 1874. Till 1912, it means till the age of 39, he was in America and he used to write poems, but they didn't become so popular. But in the year 1912, Robert Frost sailed with his family to Great Britain and his first book was published the very next year. In England, he had a friend whose name was Edward Thomas. In 1915, during the First World War, Frost returned to America. He returned to America. It means that for 3 years he was in England, and during that 3 years his work was being recognized as in the public and he became a very well-known poet. Now I would like to tell you something about his writing. Robert Frost writes simply but insightfully about common, ordinary experiences. Even in this poem, you would be able to understand that he conveys a very deep meaning through very simple words and through a very simple situation. Now, let us read the poem. The name of the poem is The Road Not Taken. And this well-known poem is about making choices and choices that shape us. Actually, here the road represents life. It is a metaphor and it represents life. And in life we make choices. And many times it happens that the choice that we are not able to make or we are not able to fulfill, this not identifies the regret that we feel in our life when we are unable to do something that we would have been able to do. So here Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken, it is being analyzed in many ways, but the common message or meaning that this poem wants to say is that a life is full of choices, and many times in life it happens that due to your choice your future is being shaped. Okay, here there is one picture and in this picture you can see that there is one traveler and the traveler have two choices. This is choice 1 and this one is choice 2, and he wished to travel the first one. Now let us read the poem so that we would be able to understand it more. The poem has been divided into 4 stanzas. This is our first stanza with 5 lines. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveller long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Now let us understand the meaning. 2 roads diverged. Diverged means separated. In a yellow wood, wood, forest. Yellow, sorry. Yellow identifies, it wants to say autumn. It is the season of autumn where the leaves used to be yellow and fell down and the new leaves used to grow. So a season of autumn which also symbolizes a season of hope, that you must have heard a very popular saying that after every night there is a bright morning. Similarly, there are the words which are very significant in this poem. 2 words diverged in a yellow wood. here actually in the first stanza you would be able to understand that the poet is trying to create a very picturesque situation. That very one day he was going through the yellow wood, through the forest, and he came to one situation where there were two roads, road 1 and road 2. Two roads diverged. So he was in the middle of the forest and there he had two choices. There were two roads. And sorry, I could not travel both and be one traveler. And sorry, I could not travel means he know very well that I am the only person and it is quite impossible for me to travel on the both road because I am the only one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as means as far as it is been extended. Long I stood means I didn't took a very quick decision. I stood for a long time, I thought about it, and then I tried to find out which would be the best choice for me. So long I stood and looked down. Looked down means he just tried to look that suppose if I take the first road, where exactly it would end or where exactly it would bend. To where it bend in the undergrowth. Undergrowth here it means the dense forest. That the forest was very dense and I was unable to exactly know that where this forest is going to end. So I looked down as far as I could. As far as I could, I just stood on that point and I started thinking whether I should take road 1 or road 2. And while standing over there, I started thinking that which one would be the better choice for me and what it will exactly lead me. So in the very first picture, a situation has been created where the poet is in the middle of the forest and he had two choices and he is quite confused that which one he should select. Now let us read the second stanza. Then took the other as just as fair. Took the other. So there were two choices. Choice 1 and 2. And what finally he decided? He took the other. He took the second road. As just as fair. Fair means good. He thought that this would be a fair decision for me. It would be a good decision for me. And having perhaps the better claim he was tempted. Actually he was tempted that he was trying to console himself that this would be something better for me, it would give me a better future if I select the second road, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Now this line is very important and it signifies that the author is quite adventurous. He loves to do something that is not done by all the people, which is something that is uncommon. Because the second road was grassy. What is the meaning of grassy? Still there was grass. It means the people have not walked on that road. And it was wanted where? Here wanted is used for the trees and this is a figure of speech of personification because wanted the emotion is given to tree. Wanted where? As if the road itself, sorry, not tree, road, as if the road itself wants the people to walk on it. So what the road is expecting that the people should come over here and walk on this road. So this was the road. The second road was something which was not being taken by many of the people and the poet thought that this would be a challenge for me and let me select the second road. Though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. Though as for means as the passing there and as he was passing there, he found that this road was not so much being used and really it was something which I wanted to do. Now let us read the third stanza. Okay, so in stanza 1 and 2, we are able to understand that the poet is in the middle of the forest and he had two choices and after thinking for a long time, he selected the second road. Why? Because it was not being walked by many people. Now, before going to the third stanza, I would like to tell you one thing. Many of the critics compare this poem with the life of Robert Frost, and it shows the situation of 1912. In the year 1912, he had choices in life whether to go to England because he wanted to become a poet. It was his passion. He wanted to go England because of his passion of becoming a poet, or to stay in America. And he had made the choice to go England, and due to that he became a popular poet. So many of the critics compare this poem with the life of Robert Frost, and it has been considered as the biopic means it has been considered that this was been inspired by his own life. One another interesting story is also behind this poem is that his friend Edward Thomas used to go for walks, and when they used to come back, Robert Frost many after coming back, what he used to tell that today instead of road 1, if we have taken road 2, then it would be better choice for us. So even from this small situation, because poet is something who is able to create poetry from everyday life. Okay, now before reading the third stanza, we will just discuss about the rhyme scheme. The rhyme scheme in all the four stanza are same. Let us see first. Lay, black, day, lay, day, way, back. So the rhyme scheme is A, B, A, B. Okay, so let us read now the third stanza. And both that morning equally lay. And both that morning. So in that morning when he was in the forest, he saw that both the roads were equally lay. In leaves no step had trodden black. Had trodden black means nobody have crushed that, or nobody have walked on that road. It was trodden black. It means that many of the people have still not walked on that road, and that's why the leaves are not crushed. The leaves are not crushed. So he wants to say that after making the choice of second road, what he felt that the road 1 was also equally quite adventurous. Oh, kept the first for another day. And this happens to us all the time, that when we are unable to do something, what we will tell to ourselves, that I will do this on some another day. So the same thing the poet is saying, I kept the first road for some another day. Said that maybe I will go to that road on some another day. Yet knowing how way leads to the way, I doubted if I should ever come back. And he know one thing very well. Now see, suppose he is standing over here. He had selected road 2, and he knows very well that this road is again going to diverge into some 2 or 3 other roads. Again he had to make choices. Again it would be diverted into 2 or 3 other roads. So he knows very well that this way will leads on to another way, and I doubted if I would able to come back. Means it is quite impossible that once you have come over here to go back and start on the first road. Now let us read the fourth stanza. This is the last stanza of the poem. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Sigh means a deep breath of relief or regret even. So I shall be telling this with a sigh means after ages, somewhere ages and ages hence. Hence means here it is future. So somewhere in the future, after many years, after a long period of time, I would be telling my grandchildren, I would be telling the story of my success to them, and with a sigh means maybe I, with a sigh here, he exactly is something positive, and he's saying with a sigh of relief I would be telling the story to my grandchildren that once upon a time I had choices of two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And he wants to tell this adventurous story to his grandchildren, saying that I took the choice of the road which was not traveled by many people, and that has made all the difference. And due to that, he says that all the difference, all the success which I got in life, it was only because of my choice. So, this poem, the message in the poem is, the poet wants to convey the message that choices and decisions should be made carefully, because it have a serious implication in your life, in your future life. Once you take the decision, it has a serious implication in your future life. He also says that one should not hesitate to make bold decisions. Means you should be strong enough to take the bold decisions in life, which if you go on, it may lead to success. Okay students, so here we complete our poem, and the rhyme scheme here we have seen, it is A, B, A, B. Okay, and this poem, it is in a picturesque form. You are able to understand from the poem itself that here the poet is telling about the choices in life. The first stanza tells you about a situation that the poet is in the forest. He had two choices. Finally, in the second stanza, he makes a fair decision, thinking that road 2 would be more proper option for him. And in the third stanza, he is trying to compare both the roads, saying that the first one was also same as the second one, but I will go on the first one on some another day. And in the last stanza, he is again trying to analyze whatever decision he has taken, saying that maybe after taking a bold decision in life, I would be successful and I would tell this story to my children. Now, before ending this, I would like to read one of the well-known lines written by Robert Frost. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go and miles to go before I sleep, before I sleep. I really love these lines. The woods are lovely. Again, woods, it means the forest. The forests are lovely, dark and deep. It means that here the poet wants to say that in life, the situation comes when you are very happy, and that happy moment, you want the life to take a standby. You want that life should not move from here, because I am very happy. I do not want to turn to any another situation. So woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep. But in life we should have make some promises to ourselves, and to fulfill that promises we have to go miles before I sleep. Here sleep indicates or symbolize death. So before I die, I should fulfill my promises. And in the last, I would like to read one more well-known lines written by Robert Frost. In 3 words, I can sum up everything I have learned about life. Life is something that nobody can explain in single words. But here Robert Frost is trying to explain it in 3 words, and it is, it goes on. Means life is something that you make plans, you make anything, but it just goes on. It never stops. Okay student, let us see in the next video with the next chapter.